Okay, let's kick off with a look at the MHL buoy trace late on Friday night. And that picture tells the story. If you look at the bottom trace there, here on this green one, or what looks kind of green on my screen, it shows you that the average height at sea is less than a meter, and even the peak heights are only about 1.5 meters at best. And look at this swell direction. What's happened over the day? It kind of bumbled around, and then boing! It just has fallen, crashing straight down toward the north almost, as north as it can get. That's yeah, now northeast direction. And then if we come down the page a little bit, let me see if I can grab a hold of my thing here and get you down the page. Yeah, there we go. Now we're looking at the period traces, and the bottom line is the average period. That's the one that makes the most difference to us. And as you can see, it's really dropped through the floor here. This line here is the 6-second line, and so we're down toward not quite 4-second average period. That's just laughable. That's chop. It's not a swell in any meaningful sense. This line up here, the MHL buoy doesn't disentangle any secondary swell directions here, so one's left to guess at that. So my guess is that that's southerly sets that are turning up every now and again. I wouldn't expect an awful lot. Okay, let's have a look at those WHAM models. Well, here's the wave height model for Saturday. We're looking at that, and the Bureau's call for Saturday is late showers, maybe 13 to 21 degrees. Wind's supposed to start out north to northwest, 20 to 25 knots, and by evening be west-southwest, 20 to 30 knots. There'll be essentially no swell worth the name of it here. As you can see, that purple stuff goes right down to Sydney. And I think you can just pretty much right off surfing on Saturday. So let's jump to Sunday. Now Sunday is going to be quite a day because as the Bureau says, a strong change is going to move through and a low will gradually begin to develop in the Tasman Sea on Sunday, they think. The system is likely to be very strong with gale force, possibly storm force winds in it. So here we are looking at the situation on Sunday, and there's nothing much showing there, but it will change come Monday in terms of surf. But Sunday is going to be west-southwest winds 20 to 30 knots with showers, and 10 to 16, and then it'll build to southwest winds 30 to 40 knots. So Sunday's just forget it. Let's look at Monday. Monday we can now see the low pressure system in terms of its effect, mirrored here by the swell development off Sydney. And Monday, the Bureau reckons the odd shower or two may still be sticking around for us. The wind southwest to southerly 30 to 40 knots still, so not good on Monday for wind. But the swell is beginning, as we can see on the model here, to build up. That's probably 3 to 4 meters, about 8 to 9 seconds apart from the south. It'll probably be a bit bigger from south of Sydney down to just past Ulladulla or whatever, it looks like to me on the more detailed models. But, it's just not really a day worth considering, I don't think, at this stage if it plays out as forecast. So let's kick on to Tuesday and see how that's looking. Well, Tuesday, we've got dropping winds. Maybe lighter south-southwesterlies, 10 to 15 knots with any luck, but we still have swell around. It's throttled back a bit. 11 to 18 will be the temperatures and fine weather on Tuesday. Now, swell about 8 seconds apart and 2 to 3 meters, but looking pretty south there on that the direction of those arrows off of our little stretch of the east coast. So let's head on into Wednesday. And Wednesday we can see there's still quite a lot of color all the way up and down the east coast. So there should be swell pretty much everywhere. The models reckon the winds will be light west-southwesterlies on Wednesday. The Bureau says there's the odd chance of a shower in 11 to 18 temperatures. But the interesting thing, and not shown here, is that at least one of the models I looked at reckons there's a sort of 12-hour pulse of east swell due on Wednesday, 12 seconds apart, and pretty good size. So if that happens, that could really be an interesting thing with those light west-southwesterly winds and a pumping east swell. But it's a big call because I only found it on one model, so don't blame me if it doesn't happen. Let's jump on and see how things look on Thursday. And Thursday, the Bureau says it'll be fine, temperature range of 11 to 18. Then we got southeasterly winds in here, 15 to 20 knots on Thursday, but 2 to 3 meters of south-southeast swell about 8 seconds apart. So not great surface conditions, I wouldn't have thought, with the onshores and whatnot. It's going to be a day for the protected south corners and places that pick up that southeasterly when it's got 8 seconds a period, which ain't much. Well, let's jump on to the last of our models, and that's Friday. And here on Friday, we can see we still got color all up and down the east coast, the surfable bits of the east coast, and that's a good thing. The models reckon the southeasterly may back off a little bit on Friday. The swell should still be around at the 2 to 3 meter mark and coming at us at about 8 seconds apart for Friday. Now, that is, of course, a week away. So we always have to be cautious about that. That's just what the outlook is according to the big computers hiding up in Monterey Bay, I think, in California, where the Weather Bureau is that runs these things. It looks like a continuing supply of swell. You can't really see it here on the on this map, but a continuing supply of potential swell generators, I should say, coming across from the west in the Roaring Forties. So there is some hope for us. Anyway, it's quite an improvement over the flatness outlook we've had for the last few days. So a couple more days of horrible flatness, and then we could be back into a bit of surf activity. Well, that's another wrap for another surf forecast. I'll try to do another one of these soon because it looks like I got a pretty interesting week of surf coming up, although the next 2 days look pretty ordinary, as I say. Well, I hope you get lots of waves when the swell starts to kick in again. Go well. This is Don Norris from RealSurf.com. See ya.